Hello, my friends. Welcome back to American Lingo Academy. I'm Fiona, and today we're going to learn another 10 common idioms, phrases, and sentences that native English speakers use every single day. These expressions are super useful, and I promise by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what they mean and how to use them naturally in your own conversations. Let's jump right in with our first expression. Number 1, hit the nail on the head. This is an idiom, and it means to be exactly right about something or to describe something perfectly. When someone hits the nail on the head, they understand a situation completely and say exactly the right thing. It's like when you're trying to hammer a nail into wood, and you hit it perfectly straight, right in the center. We use this expression when someone makes a really accurate comment or gives the perfect explanation for something. It shows that we agree with them 100%. For example, your friend is explaining why you've been feeling tired lately, and they say it's because you've been staying up too late watching Netflix. You might respond, "You really hit the nail on the head. That's exactly why I'm so exhausted." Here's another one. Imagine you're at a work meeting, and your colleague perfectly explains why a project isn't working. You could say, "Sarah really hit the nail on the head with her analysis of the problem." Number 2, are you trying to be funny? This is a question, but it's not really asking if someone is making a joke. Instead, it's a way to show that you're annoyed or frustrated with someone. When we ask this question, we usually think the other person is being sarcastic, rude, or not taking something seriously when they should be. This expression has a slightly negative tone, so be careful when you use it. It shows that you're not happy with what the other person just said or did. For example, if your teenager comes home 2 hours late and says, "Sorry, I forgot what time it was," you might respond, "Are you trying to be funny?" This is the 3rd time this week. You might hear something like this at work too. If someone makes a joke during a serious presentation, the boss might say, "Are you trying to be funny? This is an important client meeting." Number 3, I get that a lot. This is a common phrase that means, "Many people say the same thing to me," or "I hear that frequently." We use this when someone makes a comment about us, and it's something we've heard many times before. It could be a compliment, a question, or even a criticism. This phrase is pretty neutral, and it's a polite way to acknowledge that you've heard something similar before without being rude about it. For example, if someone says, "Wow, you look just like that famous actor," you could reply, "Thanks, I get that a lot actually." People often say this about their jobs too. If you're a teacher and someone says, "Being a teacher must be so easy with all those vacations," you might respond, "Yeah, I get that a lot, but we actually work during those breaks too." Number 4, it doesn't fit. This is a simple sentence, but it's used in many different situations. The most obvious meaning is about clothing or objects that are the wrong size. But we also use it to talk about situations, people, or ideas that don't work well together or don't belong in a certain place. This expression is very practical, and you'll hear it all the time, especially when shopping, organizing things, or talking about whether something is appropriate for a situation. For example, you're trying on jeans at the store and they're too small, so you tell the salesperson, "These don't fit. Do you have them in a larger size?" Here's another one. If your friend suggests watching a horror movie for your 5-year-old's birthday party, you might say, "I don't think that movie fits. Let's find something more kid-friendly." Before we continue with the rest of our expressions, I want to ask you a quick favor. If you're finding this lesson helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We post new English learning videos every single day, and your support really helps us keep creating content for amazing learners like you. Now let's get back to our lesson. Number 5, who does this belong to? This is a question we use when we find something and want to know who owns it. It's a very practical question that you'll use often, especially in shared spaces like offices, classrooms, homes with roommates, or even public places. This is a polite way to try to return something to its owner. It shows that you're being considerate and responsible by not just taking something that isn't yours. For example, you're in the office break room and there's a coffee mug on the counter that's been there for days. You might ask your coworkers, "Who does this belong to?" "It's been here since Monday." You might hear something like this at home too. If you find a jacket hanging in your closet that isn't yours, you could ask your family, "Who does this belong to? I found it in my closet." Number 6, what was it like? This is a question we ask when we want someone to describe their experience with something. We use this to learn about places they visited, events they attended, jobs they had, or any situation they experienced that we haven't experienced ourselves. This question shows that you're interested in hearing details about someone's experience. It's a great way to start a conversation and learn about new things. For example, if your friend just came back from a trip to Japan, you might ask, "What was it like? I've always wanted to visit there." People often say this about new experiences too. If your coworker just started a new job, you could ask, "What was it like on your first day? Were you nervous?" Number 7, they all look alike. This sentence means that a group of things or people appear very similar to each other, making it hard to tell them apart. We often use this about objects, animals, or even people who share similar characteristics. Be very careful with this expression when talking about people, especially people from different ethnic backgrounds, because it can sound offensive or insensitive. It's much safer to use it when talking about objects or animals. For example, you're looking at your friend's collection of 20 white coffee mugs and you say, "Wow, they all look alike. How do you tell them apart?" Here's another one. If you're at the zoo looking at a group of penguins, you might comment, "They all look alike to me. I can't tell which one is which." Number 8, does it come in black? This is a question we commonly ask when shopping, especially for clothing, shoes, or accessories. We use this when we like an item, but want to know if it's available in a different color. Black is mentioned here as an example, but you can replace it with any color. This is a very practical shopping phrase that you'll use frequently when you want to see all the color options for something before making a decision. For example, you're shopping for a new phone case and you see one you like in blue, but you prefer black accessories. You ask the salesperson, "This is perfect. Does it come in black?" You might hear something like this when shopping for clothes too. If you find a dress you love in red, you could ask, "This is beautiful, but does it come in black? I have more shoes that would match." Number 9, marked down from. This is a phrase we use in shopping to talk about sale prices or discounts. When something is marked down from a higher price, it means the original price has been reduced and now costs less. This is very common during sales, clearance events, or when stores want to get rid of inventory. Understanding this phrase will help you recognize good deals when you're shopping and understand how much money you're saving. For example, you're at the store and you see a sign that says, "Sweaters marked down from $60, now only $25. You realize you're getting a great deal. People often say this when they're excited about finding a bargain. Your friend might tell you, "I got these amazing boots. They were marked down from $150 to just $75. Number 10, get him on the phone. This is a sentence that means call him or contact him by telephone. We use this when we need to speak with someone urgently or when we want someone else to make a phone call for us. You can replace him with her or use a person's name instead. This expression is common in business situations, emergencies, or when we need to reach someone quickly for important information. For example, if there's a problem at work and you need to contact your boss immediately, you might tell your assistant, "There's an emergency with the Johnson account. Get him on the phone right now." Here's another one. If your family is planning a surprise party and you need to coordinate with your brother, you might tell your sister, "We need to finalize the guest list today. Can you get him on the phone after dinner?" And that brings us to the end of today's lesson. We've covered 10 really useful expressions that you'll hear native English speakers using all the time. Remember, the key to learning these phrases is to practice using them in real situations. Try to use one or two of them in your conversations this week. I hope you found this lesson helpful and that these expressions will make your English sound more natural and confident. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Share it with your friends who are learning English. And leave a comment below telling me which expression was your favorite or which one you plan to use first. And of course, subscribe to American Lingo Academy because we post new videos every single day to help you improve your English. I'll see you in the next lesson. Take care, my friends.